Let me ask you something. What's stopping you? No, seriously, what's holding you back? You got dreams, you got goals. But every time it gets tough, every time it requires sacrifice, you let the excuses win. Why? Because it's easier, because it's comfortable. Let me tell you something. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. You say, I'm tired. Guess what? The people at the top, they're tired too. The difference is they push past it. You say, I don't have enough time. Let me tell you, we all get the same 24 hours in a day. You're not special. The only difference between you and the person living your dream is how you use those hours. Let me break it down for you. Excuses are lies. They're lies you tell yourself to feel better about staying where you are. You don't need more time, more money, or more resources. You need more discipline. You need more hunger. There's somebody out there right now with less talent than you, less opportunity than you, but they're out working you. Why? Because they decided they weren't going to let excuses rule their life. They decided that their future was more important than their feelings. You got to get mad at your excuses. You got to say, enough is enough. When that little voice in your head starts whispering, you can't do this, you need to shout back, watch me. When it says, take a break, you tell it, I'll rest when I'm done. Listen, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It's going to hurt. You're going to fail. You're going to want to quit. But success doesn't come to the ones who never fall. It comes to the ones who get back up every single time. You got the power inside you to be great, but you got to make a decision. Are you going to be a victim of your excuses, or are you going to be a victor over them? When you feel like giving up, I want you to remember this. Somebody out there is dependent on you. Somebody is watching you. Your family, your friends, your future self, they're all counting on you to step up. So what's it going to be? Are you going to let excuses win, or are you going to dig deep, fight back, and claim the life you deserve? Be stronger than your excuses. Your greatness is waiting on the other side of your grind. Go get it. Excuses are lies you tell yourself to justify inaction. They're the stories you craft to make yourself feel better about not doing what you know you should. They're comfortable. They're convenient. They shield you from the pain of failure, but at the same time lock you away from the possibility of success. Excuses aren't real obstacles. They're imaginary walls you built around yourself. You tell yourself, I don't have time, but the truth is you didn't make time. You say, I'm too tired, but deep down you know it's because you chose comfort over discipline. You claim it's too hard, but in reality, you just didn't want to push past the discomfort. Every excuse is rooted in fear. Fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear of the effort it takes to grow. And while fear is natural, letting it dictate your actions is a choice. Excuses allow you to avoid facing that fear head on. They become a mask, disguising your reluctance to take ownership of your life. Instead of acknowledging that you didn't give your all, you tell yourself the circumstances weren't right. Instead of admitting that you chose Netflix over the gym, you convince yourself that you were too busy to work out. Excuses let you off the hook, but only temporarily. The regret of not taking action, of not striving for what you truly want, lingers far longer than the momentary relief of an excuse. Think about it. When was the last time an excuse actually solved a problem? When was the last time an excuse brought you closer to your goals? Never. Because excuses don't solve problems, they create them. They pile up over time, forming a mountain of missed opportunities. Every I'll start tomorrow turns into weeks, months, or even years of inaction. Before you know it, you're looking back, wondering how you ended up so far from where you wanted to be. The worst part is, deep down, you know the answer. You know it wasn't the circumstances, the people around you, or the lack of resources that held you back. It was the excuses you allowed to control your decision. Excuses might feel like a protective shield, but in reality, they're a prison. They keep you trapped in the same patterns, the same struggles, the same mediocrity. They rob you of your potential, your growth, and your greatness. And the longer you hold on to them, the harder it becomes to let them go. Because every time you make an excuse, you reinforce the habit of inaction. You teach yourself that it's okay to settle, that it's okay to postpone your dreams, that it's okay to give less than your best. And the more you do it, the more those excuses start to feel like the truth. But let's be clear, excuses aren't the truth. They're distortions of reality. They're your way of rationalizing why you didn't show up, why you didn't put in the effort, why you didn't take the leap. They're not rooted in fact, they're rooted in fear and self-doubt. The truth is, you're capable of more than you give yourself credit for. The truth is, the obstacles you're facing aren't as insurmountable as you make them out to be. The truth is, the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the story you keep telling yourself about why you can't have it. Excuses are seductive. They whisper in your ear, offering you an easy way out. They tell you it's okay to skip the hard work, that you can always try again tomorrow, that you deserve a break. And while that might feel good in the moment, it's a trap. Because tomorrow turns into the next day, and the next day turns into next week. And before you know it, you're stuck in the same place you were months ago. Or worse, you've fallen even further behind. Excuses don't just steal your time, they steal your momentum. And without momentum, progress becomes impossible. Every time you make an excuse, you're choosing short-term comfort over long-term success. You're choosing to stay the same instead of growing into the person you're meant to be. You're choosing to settle for less instead of reaching for more. And the harsh truth is, every time you make that choice, you're moving further away from your dreams. Because dreams don't come to those who wait for the perfect moment. They come to those who refuse to let excuses hold them back. It's not that successful people don't face challenges. They do. They get tired. They get discouraged. They face obstacles just like everyone else. The difference is they don't let excuses stop them. They don't let fear dictate their actions. They don't let temporary discomfort derail their progress. They've made a decision that their goals are more important than their excuses. Excuses might feel like a safety net, but they're actually a dead weight. They don't protect you, they hold you down. They don't save you from failure, they guarantee it. They don't make life easier, they make it harder in the long run. Because every excuse you make is a missed opportunity to grow, to learn, to improve, to move closer to your dreams. You have a choice. You can continue to let excuses rule your life, or you can take control. You can keep telling yourself the same tired stories, or you can rewrite the narrative. You can stay stuck in the cycle of inaction, or you can break free. It starts with recognizing excuses for what they are. Lies. Lies that keep you comfortable. Lies that keep you small. Lies that keep you from becoming the person you're meant to be. Your future is more important than your feelings. Too often we let our emotions dictate our actions. We wake up tired and convince ourselves we need just a little more rest. We feel unmotivated and decide that today isn't the right day to start. We experience doubt or fear and tell ourselves we'll wait until we're more confident or prepared. But here's the truth. If you let your feelings run the show, you will never get where you want to go. Feelings are fleeting, temporary, and unreliable. They change with the weather, with a bad day, or even with a single thought. But your future is permanent. Every decision you make, every action you take is shaping it. The problem is, we live in a world that tells us to prioritize how we feel in the moment. We're told to follow our hearts, to listen to our emotions, to wait until we feel ready or inspired. But that's a dangerous mindset, because feelings are not built for long-term success. They're built for survival, for comfort, for keeping us safe. They're not designed to push us out of our comfort zones, to challenge us, to drive us forward. That's why when you're faced with the choice between doing what's easy and doing what's necessary, your feelings will almost always choose the easy route. They'll tell you it's okay to skip the workout, to procrastinate on the project, to take the path of least resistance. And if you listen to them, you'll find yourself stuck in the same place day after day, year after year. The future doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't care if you're tired, unmotivated, or scared. It doesn't care if you had a bad day, if you're stressed, or if things aren't going your way. Your future is shaped by what you do, not by how you feel. Every time you choose to push through discomfort, to act despite fear, to do the work even when you don't feel like it, you're building a future you can be proud of. But every time you let your feelings win, every time you choose comfort over commitment, you're sacrificing that future bit by bit. Feelings are powerful, but they are not in control unless you let them be. You have the ability to override them, to choose action over inaction, to prioritize your goals over your emotions. It's not easy. It takes discipline, self-awareness, and a clear sense of purpose. But it's possible, and it's necessary if you want to create the life you envision for yourself. Because success doesn't come to those who wait for the right mood or the perfect moment. It comes to those who show up every day, no matter how they feel, and do what needs to be done. Think about the people you admire, the ones who have achieved the kind of success you aspire to. Do you think they always felt like putting in the work? Do you think they never doubted themselves, never faced fear, never wanted to quit? Of course not. They're human, just like you. The difference is they didn't let those feelings dictate their actions. They learned to act in spite of their emotions, to focus on their goals instead of their discomfort. They understood that their future was more important than their feelings, and they made decisions based on that understanding. When you prioritize your future over your feelings, you take control of your life. You stop being a victim of your emotions and start becoming the creator of your destiny. You realize that while you can't always control how you feel, you can control what you do. You can choose to get out of bed when you're tired, to start the project when you're unmotivated, to take the risk even when you're scared. You can choose to keep moving forward one step at a time, no matter how you feel in the moment. It's not about ignoring your feelings or pretending they don't exist. It's about recognizing them for what they are, temporary states of mind that don't define you or your potential. It's about understanding that your feelings are just one part of you, and they don't have to be in charge. You have the power to acknowledge your emotions without letting them control your actions. You have the power to say, yes, I'm tired, but I'm going to do this anyway. Yes, I'm scared, but I'm going to move forward. Yes, I'm unmotivated, but I'm going to take action. When you let your feelings dictate your actions, you're giving up control of your life. You're allowing temporary emotions to shape your permanent reality. You're making decisions based on what feels good now instead of what will serve you in the long run. And the truth is, what feels good now often leads to regret later. Skipping the workout feels good in the moment, but it doesn't feel good when you're out of shape and struggling with your health. Procrastinating on the project feels good in the moment, but it doesn't feel good when you're rushing to meet a deadline or missing out on opportunities. Avoiding the risk feels good in the moment, but it doesn't feel good when you're stuck in the same place, wondering what could have been. Your future deserves better than that. It deserves your commitment, your effort, your discipline. It deserves to be built on a foundation of consistent action, not fleeting emotions. It deserves to be prioritized over the temporary comfort of giving in to your feelings. Because at the end of the day, your future is what matters most. It's the legacy you leave behind, the impact you make, the life you create for yourself and the people you care about. And that future is worth every ounce of effort, every moment of discomfort, every decision to act. in spite of how you feel. Feelings come and go, but your actions stay with you. They create results, shape outcomes, and determine your destiny. They're what separate those who achieve their dreams from those who don't. The people who succeed aren't the ones who never feel fear, doubt, or fatigue. They're the ones who refuse to let those feelings stop them. They're the ones who understand that their future is more important than their feelings. And they act on that understanding every single day. Discipline and hunger outweigh talent and resources. Too often, people believe that success is reserved for the most talented or those with the best opportunities. They think that if they don't have a natural gift or a head start in life, they're destined to fall short. But talent and resources are only part of the equation and not even the most important part. The real determining factors are discipline and hunger. These are the traits that separate those who achieve greatness from those who settle for mediocrity. Discipline is the ability to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. Hunger is the relentless desire to achieve your goals no matter what it takes. Together, they create an unstoppable force that far outweighs any natural talent or advantage. Talent without discipline is wasted potential. It doesn't matter how skilled or gifted you are, if you can't commit to the work required to reach the next level. Talent might get you started, but it won't carry you to the finish line. Discipline is what ensures you keep moving forward, even when the initial excitement fades, even when progress feels slow, even when the obstacles seem insurmountable. It's waking up early to put in the extra hours when everyone else is still asleep. It's staying focused on your goals when distractions are pulling you in every direction. It's saying no to immediate gratification because you're committed to the long-term vision. Without discipline, even the most talented individuals fall short of their potential because talent alone isn't enough to sustain success. Resources without hunger are meaningless. You can have all the money, connections, and opportunities in the world, but if you lack the drive to pursue your goals relentlessly, none of it matters. Hunger is the fire inside you, the thing that pushes you to keep going when things get tough. It's what makes you look for solutions instead of excuses. It's what drives you to put in the work even when no one is watching, even when the results aren't immediate. Hunger is what separates the people who make the most of their resources from those who squander them. It's not about what you have. It's about how badly you want to succeed and what you're willing to do to make it happen. There are countless stories of people who had every advantage but failed to achieve their goals because they lacked discipline and hunger. They relied on their talent or resources to carry them. But when challenges arose, on the other hand, there are just as many stories of people who started with nothing. No money, no connections, no special skills, but achieved extraordinary success because they had the discipline to stay consistent and the hunger to keep pushing forward. These people understood that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. They refused to let their circumstance then define their future because they knew that their effort and determination mattered more than their starting point. Discipline and hunger are traits that anyone can develop. They don't require you to be born with a special gift or to have access to extraordinary resources. They require a choice to commit to your goals, to show up every day, to put in the work, and to never stop striving for more. Discipline is a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows stronger with consistent use. Every time you choose to stick to your plan instead of giving in to distractions, you're strengthening your discipline. Every time you follow through on a commitment, no matter how small, you're proving to yourself that you're capable of staying focused and determined. Hunger is fueled by purpose. When you have a clear vision of what you want to achieve and why it matters, that hunger becomes almost unstoppable. It's not enough to want success in a vague sense. You need to know exactly what success looks like for you and why it's worth fighting for. That purpose becomes your guiding light, the thing that keeps you moving forward even when the path gets difficult. Hunger isn't about wishing for success. It's about being willing to sacrifice for it. It's about putting in the time, energy, and effort required to turn your vision into reality. Discipline and hunger are what keep you going when talent and resources fall short. They're what push you to find solutions instead of dwelling on problems. They're what drive you to keep learning, growing, and improving, no matter how much progress you've already made. Talent might open doors, but discipline and hunger are what keep you walking through them. Resources might give you a head start, but discipline and hunger are what ensure you keep running long after the race has begun. The truth is, success is rarely about who starts with the most talent or the best resources. They're what turn potential into reality and dreams into achievements. Discipline is about consistency. It's about showing up even when you don't feel like it, even when progress feels slow, even when the results aren't immediate. It's about doing the small, unglamorous tasks that add up to big results over time. Discipline is what ensures you keep moving forward even when the excitement fades or the challenges seem overwhelming. It's not about being perfect. Hunger is about desire. It's about wanting success so badly that you're willing to do whatever it takes to achieve it. It's about staying motivated even when the journey is long and difficult. Hunger is what keeps you going when others quit. It's what drives you to push past your limits, to keep striving for more, to refuse to settle for anything less than your best. Hunger is what separates the people who dream about success from those who achieve it. When you combine discipline and hunger, you become unstoppable. You become the kind of person who doesn't rely on talent or resources to get ahead, but who creates success through sheer determination and effort. You become the kind of person who refuses to let excuses hold them back, who embraces challenges as opportunities to grow, who keeps moving forward no matter what obstacles they face. Discipline and hunger are the great equalizers. They level the playing field and give anyone, regardless of their starting point, the chance to achieve greatness. Failure is part of the process. Get back up every time. Too often, people see failure as the end of the road, a definitive statement that they're not good enough, not capable enough, or not deserving of success. But failure isn't final unless you let it be. It's not a sign that you should stop trying. It's a sign that you're trying, and that's what matters. Every successful person you admire has failed, likely more times than you can imagine. Failure is a natural, unavoidable part of growth. It's the stepping stone to progress, the teacher that shows you what doesn't work so you can figure out what does. It's not something to be feared or avoided. It's something to be embraced, learned from, and used as fuel to keep moving forward. The problem is, many people let failure define them. They let a single setback convince them that they're not cut out for success. They take it personally, as if it's a reflection of their worth or potential. But failure isn't personal, it's universal. It's something everyone experiences, no matter how talented, smart, or hardworking they are. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't the absence of failure. It's their response to it. Successful people don't see failure as a reflection of who they are. They see it as an opportunity to grow, to improve, and to come back stronger. They don't let it stop them. They let it shape them. When you fail, it's easy to feel discouraged. It's easy to start questioning yourself, to wonder if you're wasting your time, to feel like giving up would be easier than trying again. But the truth is, failure is a sign that you're pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone, and that's exactly where you need to be if you want to grow. Comfort zones are safe, but they're also stagnant. They don't challenge you, stretch you, or force you to confront your weaknesses. Failure, on the other hand, does all of those things. It exposes the gaps in your knowledge, the areas where you need to improve, and the habits that are holding you back. And that's a good thing, because it gives you the opportunity to address those weaknesses and become better than you were before. Failure is also a test of resilience. It's easy to stay motivated when everything is going well, but how do you respond when things go wrong? Do you let failure break you, or do you let it build you? Do you see it as a reason to quit, or as a reason to try harder? Resilience is what separates those who succeed from those who don't. It's the ability to get back up every time you fall, to keep going no matter how many times you're knocked down, and to believe in yourself even when the results aren't immediate. Resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you develop through experience, and failure is one of the best teachers. Think about the times you failed in the past. Maybe you didn't get the job you wanted, or your business idea didn't work out, or you fell short of a goal you set for yourself. At the time, it probably felt like the end of the world. But looking back, you can see how those failures shaped you, taught you valuable lessons, and prepared you for future success. Maybe they forced you to rethink your approach, to work harder, or to develop new skills. Maybe they taught you the importance of perseverance, or helped you discover a new path you wouldn't have considered otherwise. The point is, failure wasn't the end. It was a turning point, a stepping stone on the path to where you are now. Failure also teaches humility. It reminds you that you're not perfect, that you don't have all the answers, and that there's always room for improvement. It keeps you grounded, hungry, and open to learning. It forces you to let go of your ego and accept that growth requires effort, patience, and persistence. And while humility might feel uncomfortable in the moment, these are the most valuable qualities you can develop. It keeps you focused on the process rather than the outcome, and it helps you stay committed to your goals even when the results are slow to come. Failure is also a powerful motivator. When you fail, you have two choices. You can give up, or you can use that failure as fuel to keep going. You can let it define you, or you can let it drive you. The people who achieve the most in life aren't the ones who avoid failure. They're the ones who refuse to let it stop them. They use failure as a reminder of what they're fighting for, as proof that they're putting in the effort, and as motivation to keep pushing forward. They don't see failure as a setback. They see it as a setup for a comeback. Failure also builds character. It teaches you patience, persistence, and the value of hard work. It forces you to confront your fears, to face your limitations, and to find the strength to overcome them. It makes you stronger, wiser, and more resilient. And while it's never easy, it's always worth it. Because the lessons you learn from failure, they're the ones that shape you into the person you're meant to be. The person who can handle challenges, overcome obstacles, and achieve greatness. The truth is, failure is inevitable if you're striving for something big. If you're taking risks, pushing boundaries, and aiming for greatness, you're going to fail along the way. But that's not a bad thing. It's a necessary part of the journey. Failure isn't a sign that you're doing something wrong. It's a sign that you're trying, learning, and growing. It's a sign that you're on the right path, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. And every time you fail, you're one step closer to success. Failure also gives you perspective. It helps you appreciate the wins, no matter how small they might seem. It reminds you that success isn't about never failing, it's about never giving up. It's about staying committed to your goals even when the road is rough. It's about finding the strength to keep going even when the odds are stacked against you. And it's about recognizing that failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a part of it. Every failure is a lesson. Every setback is an opportunity, and every stumble is a step forward, as long as you're willing to get back up and keep moving. Excuses keep you comfortable, but growth requires discomfort. It's easy to come up with reasons why you can't start, why you can't keep going, or why you didn't finish. Excuses protect you from facing the tough truth that growth demands effort, pain, and sacrifice. They give you a temporary sense of relief, an out that keeps you from pushing yourself, but the cost of those excuses is enormous. Every time you choose to let an excuse win, you're choosing to stay exactly where you are. You're choosing comfort over progress, ease over growth. And in the process, you're holding yourself back from the person you could become. Growth doesn't happen when things are easy. It doesn't happen when you're in your comfort zone, doing the same things you've always done. Growth happens when you're stretched, challenged, and forced to adapt. It happens when you confront your fears, take risks, and push past your limits. But the problem is, discomfort doesn't feel good in the moment. It's uncomfortable by definition. It's hard, it's messy, and it's often frustrating. That's why excuses are so tempting. They allow you to avoid that discomfort and stay in a place that feels safe and familiar, but safety and familiarity won't get you to where you want to be. They won't help you grow, achieve, or succeed. Excuses are a defense mechanism. They're your mind's way of protecting you from failure, rejection, or pain. But in trying to protect you, they also limit you. They keep you from taking the risk necessary to move forward. They convince you that it's okay to settle for less, to aim lower, to wait for the right time. But there is no right time, there is only now. And every moment you spend making excuses is a moment you could be using to take action, to make progress, to grow. The longer you let excuses dictate your decisions, the longer you'll stay stuck in the same place, wondering why nothing ever changes. Growth requires a mindset shift. It requires you to recognize that discomfort isn't something to be avoided, it's something to be embraced. Discomfort is a sign that you're pushing yourself, that you're stepping into new territory, that you're doing the work necessary to grow. It's not a punishment, it's a privilege. It means you're on the path to becoming stronger, smarter, and more capable. But to embrace discomfort, you have to let go of your excuses. You have to stop justifying why you can and start finding reasons why you can. You have to stop waiting for things to be easy and start accepting that the journey will be hard. And that's what makes it worthwhile. Excuses rob you of your power. They convince you that you're a victim of your circumstances, that you're limited by your resources, or that you're not capable of overcoming your challenges. But that's a lie. You are capable of so much more than you realize. But you'll never know what you're truly capable of if you keep giving in to excuses. Excuses let you off the hook. They allow you to avoid responsibility for your actions, your choices, and your results. But growth requires ownership. It requires you to take responsibility for your life, to hold yourself accountable, and to commit to doing the work, no matter how hard it gets. Discomfort is the price of admission for growth. It's the sacrifice you make to achieve something greater. It's the pain you endure to become stronger. It's the struggle you face to reach new heights. And while discomfort may feel unpleasant in the moment, it's temporary. Growth, on the other hand, is permanent. The skills you develop, the knowledge you gain, the strength you build, those are things no one can take away from you, even when you suffer. But to earn those rewards, you have to be willing to pay the price. You have to be willing to face the discomfort, to push through the excuses, and to do the hard things that others aren't willing to do. Excuses are a form of self-sabotage. They may seem harmless, but they're holding you back from reaching your full potential. They keep you small, safe, and stuck. They convince you to settle for less when you're capable of so much more. But the good news is you have the power to break free from your excuses. You have the power to choose discomfort over comfort, growth over stagnation. It's not easy, and it won't happen overnight, but every time you challenge an excuse, you're taking a step toward a better version of yourself. The first step to breaking free from excuses is awareness. You have to recognize when you're making excuses and call yourself out. Be honest with yourself about why you're not taking action. Are you afraid of failure? Are you worried about what others will think? Are you doubting your own abilities? Once you understand the root of your excuses, you can start to address them. You can remind yourself that failure is a part of the process. that other people's opinions don't define your worth, and that you're more capable than you give yourself credit for. Awareness is the key to breaking the cycle of excuses and taking control of your action. The second step is commitment. You have to commit to showing up no matter how you feel, no matter what obstacles are in your way, no matter how uncomfortable it gets. Commitment means doing the work even when you're tired, unmotivated, or scared. It means keeping your promises to yourself even when it's inconvenient or difficult. Commitment is what separates those who succeed from those who don't. It's not about talent, luck, or resources. It's about the willingness to show up and do the work day after day, no matter what. The third step is action. You can't think your way out of excuses. You have to act your way out. Action is the antidote to excuses. It's what moves you forward, builds momentum, and creates results. Even small actions can make a big difference. Every time you take a step toward your goals, you're proving to yourself that you're capable of more than your excuses. You're building confidence, resilience, and a sense of pride in your ability to overcome challenges. Action is what turns discomfort into growth and potential into reality. Excuses might feel comforting in the moment, but they come at a cost. They cost you time, progress, and the opportunity to become the person you're meant to be. They cost you the chance to achieve your dreams, to make an impact, to live a life you're proud of. But discomfort, while challenging, is an investment. It's an investment in your future, in your growth, in your success. And the return on that investment is immeasurable. It's the satisfaction of knowing you gave it your all, the pride of overcoming obstacles, and the fulfillment of reaching your full potential. Growth isn't supposed to be easy. If it were, everyone would do it. But the fact that it's hard is what makes it valuable, is what sets you apart, what builds character, and what prepares you for success. Discomfort is the sign that you're on the right track, that you're doing the work necessary to grow, and that you're willing to do what others won't. It's not something to be avoided, it's something to be embraced. Because every time you choose discomfort over excuses, you're choosing growth over stagnation, progress over complacency, and success over mediocrity.